Hey, what's going on, people? Doesn't look like there's anybody here for the NBA, and I can't say that I blame you. This is a very, very not fun time to play NBA, and we've got Masters going on. There's baseball going on. We got tomorrow baseball going on. There's just a lot of stuff happening to where it makes NBA kind of a hard priority. I will talk through anything on this slate. If you guys have any questions, feel free to fire them on in here. Happy to answer whatever you guys have. But I don't have a whole lot to talk about because I think this is it's just a lousy slate. So my biggest advice is that I would recommend basically leaving a ton of money on the table.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up?
I'm really steamed.
What are you
I'm
steamed?
so steamed right now.
What are you steamed about?
I'm going to tell you why. Because I could be cashing in this 555 in baseball, but I got like one of the worst calls like in all of baseball. So Josiah Graves was doing great. And he's whatever. He's just fine. 3% ownership. Okay. In the fourth inning or whatever, somebody hit a fly ball directly to the right fielder. He stood there and stared at it, and then the sun came in his eyes, and it dropped, and they gave the fucker a double, okay, followed by an earned run, as opposed to what should have been. And I don't know what the rules are, but I am not happy about this. I could still get Washington to maybe, God forbid, score a run. I could still get there, but I am not happy. Actually, right now I'm one place in the money. I'm in 61st, paying 67, and I have Ruiz, Meneses, and Thomas. So
you could get there.
Of course, I could still get there, but I'm still steamed.
Yeah, that's annoying. The Sun, they pretty much always do that in baseball. They always do the Sun double.
All right, so this is actually really cool. So as we wind down to the towards the end of the regular season, for those of you who've been watching the my sheets over the past for the whole season, I mentioned to you guys that whenever you have like a sheets value score of over 200, especially with it's like almost unheard of for anybody except for like the top guys. But then when you get down to like days like this, like you got like Moritz Wagner with a 270 value score and like Ricky Rubio with like 270. It's like so funny just to see like on my sheets. Like I'm used to, okay, who's got a 200? Luka. Who's got a 200? Giannis. And then now you get literally 3K guys. What are we leaving? 30,000 on the table tonight?
Gotta leave. I think that's the plan, is to leave money on.
Jesus.
Like, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, I'm struggling with the idea of even trying to build a lineup right now. Like, nothing is making any sense. I think that you just leave some money on the table. Unfortunately, all the spend ups will be taken. Maybe the Phoenix guys will be lower owned. That's one thing you could do, is play those guys in an important game. The ones I wouldn't avoid are Rubio, Osman, Wagner, and I think Jalen Suggs too.
Yeah, those are the top guys.
And then I like Jimmy Butler a lot. I don't think Philly has much to play for. But the problem is, like, it's just so easy to get Embiid.
Right.
But it's really hard to get off the board today. And I think.
What about you like Keldon Johnson's still questionable. I'm looking at some other stuff here. You like Taylor Horton Tucker at all?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, you could have crazy ownership, but it's totally fine. I'm really excited about any of these things. Like, I'm trying to find any get different. Like, he's going to be 45% owned to Horton Tucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like you're not getting different with anything. Maybe forcing in Drew Eubanks is something you could do. Just because of the low ownership. I'm just trying to figure it out because it's really, really tough to try to find anything that makes a whole lot of sense, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, the reality is probably just supposed to not play.
Yeah, I think that's the real answer. I mean, that's the answer I come up with. I think I'm going to throw one lineup into the $20 thing, but that's it. And it's really weird because you have players, I don't know, it's just really crazy. And then we don't know what's happening with Denver later. You've got Gordon, Porter Jr., KCP, and Zeke all questionable. I mean, it's just a madhouse, man. It's not pretty, any of it. Maybe it's the Reggie Jackson night. I don't
Reggie
know.
Jackson night. I like that.
I don't know, something to get. I'm just trying to find anything to get different, and I don't have a lot of good solutions that are within the realm of like total reason or logic. Yeah, so I've got like Butler with Bam and Harden on the other side, and Shea as the spend ups. Maybe, I don't know. And Embiid's obviously more.
I'm steamed at. I'm steamed at DraftKings because they've been doing so well, like making big prize pools in hockey this season, whatever. And tonight, for some reason, it's a 14-game slate on a day where there's basically no NBA. I mean, there is, but you know what I mean? And they like reduced all the prize pools today. I guess it's because of the Masters.
It's the Masters, yeah. I think you're right.
But I want people losing all their money in one day, pretty much.
Pretty much, I guess. They're so bad. I mean, it's so gross right now. I did build one shell lineup, which I'm just going to share in our premium thing just because I want to have something up today. But it's really like, yeah, you know what I mean?
In what, for basketball?
For basketball.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, like, yeah, in terms of the value, I mentioned the guys who I like the most. Maybe a way to get to, I don't know how you don't play Mo Wagner. I don't know how you don't play Rubio. I guess you could argue that Neto you could play instead. I think that's like one viable pivot that I see that you can make. I think Chuma Okeke instead of Bol is something you could do. These aren't fun, you know, like I said. The low-owned Dean Wade now, after he still projects great, but not great enough for this slate. So he's going to be lower-owned. Maybe you play him. But it's hard to really fall in love with too much. Everybody's projecting incredibly well. Everybody seems to have some ownership. Guys like Eubanks, Bam, Cole Anthony might be slightly lower-owned. Like, these are just other guys to consider, but it's kind of ugly, man. Meanwhile, you're sweating your baseball. You're probably going to be okay, I think. I love
we got to keep Colorado off the board. I mean, these are like, you know what I mean? Like, this is not easy.
Yeah. No, I know.
And we are not top 8, by the way. I don't know what they're talking about.
What's that?
It's top 8 Blackman at bat. Good job, DraftKings. Excellent. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very strong.
You are, I can tell. But I was happy I got a nice little Chris Kirk bounce back after his start because I have played a pretty decent percentage of him. Did you see what he was 4 over through 4, and then next thing you look up, he's 3 under. Like, a lot of that today in the golf. A lot of guys started horribly and then sort of got it together a little bit. I mean, look at freaking Rahm. He double bogeyed the first and he ended up 7 under.
He's 7 under. Is that what?
Yeah, they're all tied for first. Hovland, Rahm, and Koepka.
Koepka's really 7 under.
Yeah, but there's like a bunch of guys. They're all up there. I mean, there's a lot of guys who went really low today that are gonna have a hard time going low later on. Rahm, Hovland, Koepka are 7. Jason Day 5 under. Cam Young 5 under. Xander 4 under. Shane Lowry 4 under. Gary Woodland 4 under. Adam Scott, my guy, 4 under. Scheffler 4 under. Scheffler has played. You would think that he was out of this tournament and he was gonna just like leave after the day the way
he always does this. He looks like he's like the worst golfer ever. And he's like -1, right, or something.
He's 4 under.
Oh my god!
He literally has missed like 7 putts from like 8 feet. I swear, he could break the course record if he didn't do that. I mean, his irons and his drives have been incredible, but it's just pretty wild.
Well, I will tell you this. Mrs. Sheets has been running around like a chicken without a head for dealing with the stuff that I told you we're dealing with. And I think that finally get a chance to have dinner with her. So I'm going to depart these premises.
Okay. Well, you guys can go. I'll answer anything for anybody in there in the Discord, or, you know, if there's anybody who wants to talk about anything, but I don't really have a whole lot to go over with the basketball. So,
yep. All right, I'm going to run. Good luck, everybody.
All right, good luck, bud. Good luck, guys. I'll give it a minute, see if anybody else has anything they want to talk about. You want to brag about your Masters lineup? That's happy. I'm happy to do that. Yeah, so I really, it's just a horrible slate. My advice is leave money on the table. Consider taking maybe a Neto over Rubio in some lineups, or just Neto with Rubio. Maybe that's something you could do to get different. But really hard to get off the chalk today. And it's going to be 90% owned chalk. It's not like you're talking about like 50% owned guys. Like, I think Rubio, forget what Saberson says, in real tournaments, Rubio ends up like 1,000,000% owned. It's just really, there's just nothing to really, I don't love playing Bam either, but like, what are you going to do here on this slate? Instead of playing Bam, you could just straight up swap to Bull and leave 4,000 on the table. I think it's viable. I really think you could leave like 4 or 5K on the table today, and there's no problem with it. I also think Embiid's ceiling is lower here than usual, but probably, he's a really good play, obviously. I think taking Harden in that game may be just a way to get, it's not even different though. It's really hard to get different today. Again, you're going to have to, I think that the correct answer is leave money on the table. I really believe that. Anyway, guys, let me know if you have anything else. Otherwise, I'm probably going to get out of here pretty soon. Good luck to everybody out there. We're in the baseball streets again tomorrow. We'll talk about the NBA if there's anybody who wants to. It's really hard to play on these slates, and I just decided that for my course of action, it's right for me to call it a season right now. I might change my mind tomorrow, but no matter what, I'll certainly have things available for you guys if you have any questions or thoughts or anything on the slates. Just tricky. Remember, Miami's got a lot to play for. Philadelphia has very little to play for. Basically locking up the 3 seed, which is basically done. So they're really done. That's why I wouldn't be too heavy on them either. Like, I don't know. Very, very tough slate to try to get different. Very, very easy slate to know how to play cash. Anyway, good luck to everybody. I hope you guys crush it tonight, and I will see you guys